Xiaomi is back with the Mi A3, the third Android One device in the A series, and is part of the Premium Mi series lineup, unlike the budget Redmi series. It has some usual premium and flagship features like a 48 megapixel Sony IMX586 sensor with 4K video recording and electronic image stabilization, a premium attractive looking design with various colors, 6.08 inches Super AMOLED display, P2I water resistance, and a metal mid-frame with an all-glass design, among other things. The supplied soft case seems pretty thin and flimsy and is not recommended for accidental drop protection, since it will fail to protect the glass display, same like in the Redmi K20 Pro drop test failure. Due to the smaller 6.01 inches form factor and the all-glass design, it weighs in at just 173.8 grams, which makes it a lighter device compared to other latest devices. Though it feels pretty sturdy in my usual trial bend and doesn't seem to budge. An interesting thing to note is that the default stock Android UI on the Mi A3, called as Quick Step Launcher, is very similar to the Essential phone in looks and function. It has just this one virtual home button by default without the back and recent apps button, and the back button shows up only after you swipe up once for recent apps or swipe twice for the app drawer. Before moving on to the scratch test, a quick word for moderate to heavy gamers planning to buy the Mi A3 about the performance of the newly introduced Snapdragon 665 processor in combination with the Adreno 610 GPU. Power-wise, it stands somewhere in between the Snapdragon 710 and processors like the MediaTek P60 and Snapdragon 660. Somewhat disappointing was the fact that the graphics on PUBG is set to low by default and HD gameplay is not yet supported. Although gameplay on the Mi A3 was mostly lag-free on balanced mode, and it also does well on other heavy games like Standoff or Asphalt 9. Starting the scratch test on the Mi A3 to find out the quality of the glass protection you're paying for by rubbing its Corning tempered glass protection on both sides with common atoms and a heavy duty box cutter. High quality glasses or even basic Corning glass protection on cheaper Redmi devices have always managed to survive the blade with no major damages. On the other hand, poor quality tempered glass found on some Oppo and Vivo devices with pre-applied screen protectors, and every Realme device, excluding the Realme X, the only device to survive, are very scratch prone and are not able to handle the blade abuse. Xiaomi and Redmi devices, no matter what the price, have never failed my scratch test and is the same with the Mi A3. It passes the blade with ease, suffering no damage or scratches. Now moving on to the sound test to check the quality of the bottom firing single speaker. The external speaker on the Mi A3 is pretty good in terms of audio quality, treble and loudness. It is one of the best bottom firing speaker in the market today. In the drop test, let's drop the Mi A3 on concrete floor from different angles with an ordinary soft case and tempered glass. The sixth and last pocket height drop has at last managed to shatter the glass towards the bottom. The glass is completely broken all over, and it would have been the main display and body without the protection. But besides that, the Mi A3 has managed to suffer no damage to the all-glass body and camera. Now moving on to fun stuff with value, the bend test. Does the glass body of the Mi A3 have any structural flaw or weakness that you should be aware of? The Mi A1, if you remember, was not the strongest in the A series, with a good amount of flex and some damage near the power key. But the Mi A3, after 2 bends, suffered from very less amount of flex and seems to be much stronger than the Mi A2, which was a metallic phone and had done pretty well itself. The Mi A3 has turned out to be a strong phone with a metal and glass sandwich design and passes my bend test with ease, with no issues of breakage, kinks or screen separation.